The year was 2008. The world was dealing with a massive economic crisis. Times were dire for the average American, many of whom were at risk of losing their homes. But I was 12 and Sex and the City had just come out with a movie, so in my eyes, things were pretty good. Sex and the City was one of my favorite shows growing up. Was this a show for a girl to be watching at such a young age? Absolutely not. But the channel I watched it on censored most of the naughty parts, so for me, Sex and the City was about 4 women living it up in New York City, and occasionally the camera would fade to black to suggest that perhaps more than kissing was happening off screen. Carrie Bradshaw was the main character of the show, a journalist writing about her romantic encounters with the men of New York. Carrie had it all: a closet full of designer clothes, a writing job that actually somehow paid the bills, and access to one of the greatest cities in the world. And because her job was basically to date guys and write about it, you'd think that she would have found the perfect guy for her by the end of the show. You would be wrong. Mr. Big and Carrie Bradshaw were the on-again, off-again TV couple of the late 90s and early 2000s. Before we had Taylor Swift and Maddie Healy's situationship, we had Carrie and Mr. Big. I've watched Sex and the City more times than I can count, and I can count to at least 5. And with every rewatch, one thing becomes painfully clear. I hate Mr. Big. He sucks. Big is supposed to be the main love interest of the show, but he's low-key the villain. He had more red flags than Carrie had Manolo Blahniks. And if you're a fan of the show, you know that is a lot of shoes. The thing is, I don't necessarily hate Mr. Big as a character. He's actually really compelling to watch, and his presence brings a lot of drama to the show. As a certified drama queen, I enjoy his plot lines. It's just crazy to me that after everything this man puts her through, and trust me, it is a lot, Carrie actually marries him. And the show presents this as some kind of happily ever after and not the tragedy that it really is. So today I'm going to plead my case as to why Mr. Big should not have been endgame in Sex and the City. And I'm also going to offer who I think should have ended up with Carrie instead. But first, you would think that Mr. Big's name is some kind of sexual euphemism, but really, Carrie nicknames him Mr. Big as more of a way of saying he's Mr. Hotshot or Mr. Big Man on campus. At times, Carrie compares Mr. Big to the Chrysler Building or New York itself, so she is definitely not putting him on a pedestal or anything. Also, comparing him to the Chrysler Building does kind of feel like an innuendo again, but I swear it's just a coincidence. I think. When Big is first introduced on the show, one of Carrie's friends, Samantha, introduces him like this.
You see that guy? He's the next Donald Trump, except he's younger and much better looking.
Do with that what you will. We actually don't learn Mr. Big's name until the very last episode of the show, and we don't learn his full name until the first movie. So for 6 seasons, we have no idea what this man's name is. His name is John James Preston, by the way. His name is a mystery for 6 years, and it's just John. Carrie knows Mr. Big's name, we assume, the whole time. She just keeps it private from us to keep up with the illusion that we are reading her column as she narrates it. There are other people who go by nicknames on the show, but we almost always know their real names. Mr. Big's name is a secret for the whole show, which I think shows a disconnect between Big and Carrie. It's almost as if she doesn't see him as an equal, but more like a mythical creature that she can't quite conquer. Big is whipping out red flags right off the bat. Within the first few scenes, he already manages to undermine Carrie's job and call her a prostitute.
What do you do for work?
I'm sort of a sexual anthropologist.
You mean like a hooker?
Despite all that, Carrie and Big start dating, and pretty quickly we realize that they are not on the same page at all.
Well, why did you get married?
I was a fool in love, and then I was a fool in divorce court, which is why I'm never getting married again.
Suddenly, I had to concentrate on breathing.
Carrie is looking for love with hopes for marriage one day, and Big, being previously married, is jaded from his divorce. He took her to restaurants in the outskirts of the city.
As I surveyed the room, I realized it smelled like a cheap date you don't want anyone to meet.
Didn't try to introduce her to his friends or his mom.
My mother doesn't need to meet another girlfriend.
Oh.
And when she brought these things up, he kind of just swept it under the rug. She was keeping Big as an oath. Big was keeping her as a secret. Type beat. Carrie is often confused by Big's motivations because there are times where he seems genuinely into her, but then he instantly undercuts it with being distant and vague about his intentions.
Are you on a date?
Sort of.
To me, I think this is the scene that makes Carrie fall for the idea of Mr. Big. I think this scene is the reason she chases after him for 6 years. At the end of the first episode, Carrie and Big are talking about her column and how she writes about relationships. Big implies that Carrie's never been in love, to which she asks him,
Have you ever been in love?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
she fully believes that Big is implying that he could be in love with her, when that is just the furthest thing from the case. By season 2, Carrie and Mr. Big have already dated, broken up, and gotten back together again. Oh boy, I wonder how many times that's gonna happen. In season 1, Carrie breaks up with Big after she asks him point blank if she's the one, to which he responds like this.
Just tell me I'm the one. Come on, you don't have to tell your mother or the whole world. Just tell me.
Yeah, let's get back together with that guy. A lot happens in season 2. Big and Carrie rekindle their romance after a few episodes, but of course it's them, so it's vague and slightly toxic.
So does this mean we're seeing each other again? Officially?
If you say so.
That is an infuriating response.
I don't know what officially means.
In this season, Carrie invites Big to a wedding in which she has been tasked to read some poetry, and Big takes a call during the speech. In another episode, Big almost ditches meeting her friends, but then shows up last minute. In another, Big recreates this meme when other women walk by, because despite the fact that he is dating Carrie, he still openly ogles other women. Also, Carrie punches him? Yikes. In this season, Carrie also says I love you when Big gives her a purse she deems as hideous, but in my opinion, isn't very far off from her normal style. This throws Big off, and he doesn't say I love you back and just like awkwardly kisses her nose. In another episode, Carrie tries to leave some stuff at Big's apartment, like her hairdryer and her toothbrush, only for Big to throw them back in her face the next time he sees her.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, just a few things you left at my place.
Oh,
Baby, you do need to rush. You can't leave a toothbrush at my place. You know, like the Joe Jonas song. Okay. The point I'm trying to make here is that these two just cannot relax around each other. Nearly every episode is about them struggling with their relationship. Some stuff is resolved in a really weird way, like when Carrie figures it's fine that she can't leave her stuff at Big's place because she found a photograph of them, I guess.
I didn't have to worry about leaving something behind. Because I was there.
Some things are resolved in a really awkward and messy way, like when Big finally says I love you back to Carrie in the most here damn confession of love to ever exist.
Well, I fucking love you. All right? You know I do. It's just a tough thing for me to say because it always seems to get me in trouble.
The relationship continues to be tumultuous. Despite his confessions of love, later in the season, Carrie asks Mr. Big if he has any summer plans. Big says he won't be available this summer because he's moving to Paris for a year. He drops the news on her super casually, as if he's just telling her the weather. Yeah, it's gonna be cloudy tomorrow. Also, I'm gonna be moving away to Paris for a year, maybe forever. I don't know. Carrie is so shocked that she forgets that she's holding a cup of coffee and just drops it there on his bed. The real kicker here is that Big very clearly did not intend for Carrie to come with him. Honestly, if she never asked about his summer plans, who knows if he ever would have told her at all. Carrie's pretty bummed about this, but instead of hashing it out like adults, Carrie decides to put on a red beret and show up at his door with McDonald's. Carrie loves to show up at Mr. Big's door with like a crazy outfit on or some food and a corny catchphrase.
Get it while it's hot.
Anyway, Big tells Carrie that she can come to Paris if she wants, but it has to be for herself.
I mean, don't move. For me.
He basically doesn't want her to expect anything out of it, which is understandable because later in the series, Carrie does move to Paris for a man and she grows resentful over it. But Carrie doesn't see it that way, and instead of talking about it, she throws the McDonald's at Big's TV in a rage. So that's productive. This leads to breakup number 2, if you're keeping count. Carrie tries to get over Big, so she ends up going to the Hamptons for the summer. I've never been, but I've always heard that like if you're a New Yorker with lots of money, you go to the Hamptons. I've also heard that this is like the place to get Lyme disease. Carrie is living keeping it up with her cute little outfit and her cute little cowboy hat. Her body is tea. When suddenly she looks up, and who does she see but Mr. Big himself? And no, the Lyme disease did not cause her to hallucinate. Now mind you, Mr. Big told Carrie he was leaving for Paris in episode 12, and by episode 17, he's already back in town. Apparently the Paris deal fell through and Big came home early, and so Carrie realizes at the same time that they kind of broke up in vain, and also Mr. Big came back and did not contact her. But don't think that Mr. Big is that selfish, because he did bring back a souvenir for Carrie. From Paris, he brought back a hot young brunette woman named Natasha. Carrie was mentally preparing to have a whole year to get over Mr. Big, and here he is a few months later with a hot new girl. This causes Carrie to throw up on the beach. Not only did Mr. Big show up with another girl, Natasha is very different from Carrie. Throughout the show, Big shows that he has an interest in a certain type of woman. His first wife was a gorgeous brunette lady. Natasha is a gorgeous brunette lady. In this episode where Carrie bumps into him at a party, he is with a gorgeous brunette lady. The woman that Carrie meets when she realizes that Big is dating other women without telling her is a gorgeous brunette lady. This woman that Big traveled internationally with without telling Carrie, gorgeous brunette lady. He maybe dated one other blonde lady, and you can kind of consider this like a dark blonde, so almost gorgeous brunette lady. Gorgeous brunette lady with highlights. And then there is Carrie, who of course is a gorgeous brunette. Oh, I'm not saying that Big has to exclusively like blonde women. Like, it's not a character flaw that he likes brunettes. It's just interesting that this is the type of woman he always goes for when he's not with Carrie. Beyond just the hair thing, his girlfriends and wives are also typically high society ladies or models, and Carrie is massively insecure about this.
And it's her. It's her. You know, she's just, she's shiny haired, style section, Vera Wang, and I'm, the sex column they run next to ads for penile implants.
And like many of their problems, this is never solved. Even when they're married, she gets nervous when he's alone at the bar and a hot brunette Penelope Cruz approaches him. Carrie has to keep an eye out for Selena at all times. Another thing is that Natasha is a very different aesthetic to Carrie. She's clean girl aesthetic, and Carrie is more of like maximalism core. Everything is a core these days. And not only does it hurt to see Big with someone in a different Pinterest aesthetic than her, it turns out Big and Natasha are also engaged. Bro, he was in Paris for like 2 minutes. I think Carrie says it best when she says,
"You string me along for 2 years and then you marry some 25-year-old girl after only 5 months?"
Because nothing says I love you like marrying someone else. I have to reiterate that this man is like in his 40s at this point in the show. It's not like there's some outside pressure for Big to marry Natasha over Carrie. He seems to have plenty of his own money, and he probably has plenty of status. Like, maybe he's pulling a Warner from Legally Blonde by picking a Jackie over a Marilyn, but you would think that he's grown enough to not really need that anymore.
So you're breaking up with me because I'm too blonde?
The strangest thing Sex and the City ever did was introduce the perfect man and let Carrie throw him away. This is Aiden Shaw. Aiden had everything. He was attractive and kind and patient and forgiving. Honestly, too forgiving. He literally made furniture with his hands like he was Harrison Ford, and he had a dog named Pete. Like, you literally cannot come up with a better man. If you've ever watched a Hallmark movie, specifically a Christmas Hallmark movie, the formula goes: woman from city has a horrible boyfriend / fiance. Woman goes to a small town and meets humble, kind man who believes in the spirit of Christmas. Woman falls in love, calls off engagement, and marries Mr. Christmas. And it's like Sex and the City did the exact opposite of that. They introduced Mr. Christmas, and then Carrie cheats on him with Mr. Big City. When Big meets Aiden, he's immediately standoffish and jealous. Mind you, at this point, Big is married and Carrie is dating Aiden, and like they just bumped into each other at a furniture show. Mr. Big nicknames him Paul Bunyan.
Where's Paul Bunyan?
If you're referring to my boyfriend, he's doing business.
Ooh, he's a biggin'.
because he's tall and outdoorsy. Is that even an insult? I feel like that's just an admission of a crush. At the end of the day, I don't think that Aiden and Carrie were actually good for each other. He was way too stable and loving and down to earth, and she liked the chase and anxiety that came with dating Mr. Big.
One word, honey, granola. So not you.
But as a viewer, having Aiden in the show not really have that many huge flaws compared to Mr. Big just makes Mr. Big look horrible. And it makes sense that there are people who are Team Aiden even after all this time. To me, it just makes no sense to keep pursuing Mr. Big City when Mr. Christmas is right there. Plus, he had a dog. I just want you to know that I'm very excited about this part. This is my Roman Empire. Sex and the City, the series, wrapped up in 2004, and in 2008, Sex and the City, the movie, was released. The show ends with Big and Carrie finally ending up together, and somehow, by the time the movie rolls around, they are still together.
After every breakup, I secretly thought, nope, they belong together.
You thought that after the second breakup?
Yep, after the 15th.
Haha, that's hilarious. We broke up a lot.
Yeah.
In the movie, Carrie and Big decide to get married, and this is Big's proposal.
Did you want to get married?
Well, I didn't think that was an option.
What if it was an option?
Why? What? Do you want to get married?
I wouldn't mind being married to you. Would you mind being married to me?
So that's romantic. Carrie wants the wedding to be very low-key, lest we scare the 50-year-old man afraid of commitment. Carrie tries not to rock the boat. She's planning a really simple, small wedding. She thrifts an ugly white suit to the shock of her friends. But she is Carrie Bradshaw. She's pretty famous in New York for her column, so news of her wedding gets out, and suddenly she is in vogue, and she's getting a free dress from Vivienne Westwood. Very jealous, by the way. She decides she wants the venue to be the New York Public Library, which is fitting. She is a writer, but Carrie makes the very grave mistake of actually getting excited for her wedding. And because her wedding is gaining too much attention, Big freaks out.
No, I'm not. It is a circus. 200 people? Age 6? This is my third marriage. How do you think that makes me look?
Big frames this like Carrie is turning into some kind of bridezilla, when I think the worst thing she does is invite like 200 people to the wedding. To be fair, I don't know if 200 is a lot of people, because 200 is more than 5. Cracks in the foundation are starting to form, and it just gets worse from here. A couple other things happen right before the wedding. Big gets heckled by a coworker over the whole third marriage thing.
I'd like to make a toast to the groom.
There's a word he's heard before.
And Miranda, currently going through a divorce with Steve, tells Big that he's crazy to get married. So now Big is thoroughly freaked out. It is now the wedding day. The library is full of guests. Carrie is wearing a bird in her hair. A lot is happening. Then comes possibly the most iconic scene in movie history. One day, this scene will play in the Louvre. Carrie arrives to the wedding venue 20 minutes late and finds out that Big is not there. She urges someone to get her a phone.
So what's going on? Where are you?
I was out front. I just left.
Meanwhile, Carrie is within earshot of her wedding guests. Need I remind you, she was in Vogue. Anna Wintour is probably waiting inside that venue. Also, The Devil Wears Prada had come out not that long before this movie, so there is a very real possibility that Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep are also attending. Big realizes that he's making a big mistake and turns the limo around, but it's a little too late, buddy. You've already embarrassed Carrie in front of Stanley Tucci. There is no coming back from that. As Carrie is leaving the venue, she crosses Big's limo on his way back. Big steps out and he tries to apologize, but just as he does, Carrie storms out of the limo and beats his ass with a bouquet of flowers. That is the face of a man who fully thought he was about to get away with it. Like, what did he expect? A hug? Forget the recession. This is the most devastating thing that could have happened in 2008. Carrie is so embarrassed that for the majority of the movie, she literally has to go into hiding. She has to dye her iconic hair brown, which still ate, by the way. A slay is a slay. Because this is Carrie we're talking about, and she can never stand on business, she does find herself back with Big by the end of this movie. She finds out that Big has been sending her poetry via email. He also writes his own letter, apologizing for everything and begging for her to come back. Carrie runs to Big, and they reconnect, and Big proposes to her one more time with a Manolo Blahnik, which admittedly is perfect, but doesn't really excuse everything that he's done. I don't think so. They end up having a courthouse wedding, which used to really upset me. Not because I don't like courthouse weddings. I think those are really cute. It's just not what Carrie wanted. It's like she got punished for wanting the big wedding. At the end of the day, Big got what he wanted, and it kind of just feels like Carrie had to settle for the smaller wedding to keep him happy, you know? And on top of that, it seems like they had 0 witnesses, and then Big surprises Carrie with her friends right outside the courthouse. But like, were they outside the whole time? Why didn't they just come in and watch? Mazel tov, I guess. I really wanted to make a point not to talk about the spin-off, and just like that, I have heard nothing but bad things about that show. And also Samantha isn't in it because of some off-screen drama. I also didn't love the second Sex and the City movie for some reason.
We got a lot of Abu Dhabi to do! Abu Dhabi do!
So to me, the series ends after the first movie. But for the sake of this video, I will talk about them. The second movie and the spin-off give us a glimpse into what Carrie's happily ever after is now that she's finally married to Mr. Big. And spoiler alert, it's not good. In the second movie, Big and Carrie have been married for a couple of years, and it's really disappointing to see that they struggle with the same issues that were introduced in season 1. They are still not on the same page, and they still struggle with each other's needs. Big has settled into married life. He wants to stay in and eat takeout and watch TV, which, to be fair, sounds great. But Carrie wants to go out and be the socialite she's always been. Neither of them are wrong, but this difference drives a wedge between them. For example, for their wedding anniversary, Carrie buys Big a vintage Rolex, and Big buys Carrie a TV.
A state-of-the-art flat screen.
And it's kind of like a shitty little TV too. Like, this is 2012 or something. We had bigger TVs than this. I think I can see the TV from Big's point of view. I think to him, the TV represents spending more time with his wife. So it's not like he's inherently doing something wrong. Instead, this scene shows that he still doesn't quite get her. I'm not married to Carrie, but even I know she wouldn't want a TV for her anniversary. Also, not to bring money into this, but Big is a millionaire. That TV probably cost him a couple $100. Like, he could have bought the TV and a trip to Ibiza or something, you know? Another problematic thing that happens between them in this movie, Carrie is on a deadline with her article and she needs space to write. So she leaves for a couple days to finish her work. And when she comes back, Big tells her that he enjoyed his alone time so much that he thinks they should take 2 days off from living together every single week.
What if I got a place?
You want your own apartment?
No, not my own apartment. Just a place that I can go 2 days a week, lie around, watch television, do the shit I want to do that bugs you. And then the other 5 days, I'd be here and available for dinners and sparkle.
This is just sad. It is sad that this far in, the series is conjuring new ways for Carrie and Big to have drama. At what point is Carrie supposed to be happy with Big?
So what would I tell the girls? They would never understand.
I don't care if they understand. This is our marriage. Me and you, just like you said. We're adults without children. We have the luxury to design our life.
This is the second movie. Like, the series is pretty much over at this point. It's also way too late for Carrie to try and fix this relationship now. Like, she is beyond trying to change Big. She just lets him gaslight her, and he is so good at it that she starts to gaslight other people.
Big and I are thinking about taking 2 days a week apart to do our own thing.
Is everything okay?
Oh, yeah. It's just something we're talking about.
She feels the need to blatantly lie to her friends about her feelings and pretend that this whole living situation is her idea too.
We're adults with no children. We have the luxury to design our own life.
Her friends are concerned, but like, realistically, what can they do at this point? They've played these games before. I just know their group chat without Carrie goes crazy. As if things couldn't get worse. 20 years later, in the Sex and the City spinoff, Big pulls the biggest ghost card ever by literally ghosting her. As in, he dies, like in the first episode. I don't know if there were behind the scenes reasons for this, but in universe, what a crazy fucking move. As if we didn't spend years following Carrie and Big's tumultuous love story. He just dies? Apparently he's killed off after riding his exercise bike. And of all the ways to get rid of Mr. Big, murder via Peloton? I mean, I guess. And there is real life tea behind this also. Apparently, the company didn't even know know that that's how they were going to kill off Mr. Big. Allegedly, their impression was that their product was going to be featured in the show like any typical product placement. Peloton even got one of their fitness instructors to appear on the show, and imagine how excited they were to be in the reboot of one of the biggest shows on television. And then the show kills off one of its main characters on your product because of your product. After the episode dropped, Peloton's stock plummeted, obviously. And funny enough, they tried to patch it up with a real Peloton commercial starring the actor for Big, which is a bold move.
To new beginnings.
To new beginnings. You look great.
Well, I feel great. Shall we take another ride? Life's too short not to.
And just like that, the world was reminded that regular cycling stimulates and improves your heart, lungs, and circulation, reducing your risk of cardiovascular diseases. Cycling strengthens your heart muscles.
Like, yeah, we know you just saw him killed off on a Peloton, but look, he's fine. Please give us your money again. I don't know, man. I think the damage was done. I am really surprised that did not lead to a lawsuit. So Big is killed off. Yes, very sad. Sorrows, prayers. And apparently Carrie finds out that in Big's will, he left $1 million to none other than our sexy brunette, Natasha, the very ex-wife that he and Carrie cheated on years ago. Carrie is shocked to find this out, so I guess he never told her. So once again, Big is being inconsiderate of Carrie's feelings. Like, just one last jab. Carrie chases Natasha down for answers.
At a coffee shop? At my job? Where are you gonna hunt me down next, Carrie? In the showers at Equinox?
I know this bitch hates to hear a pair of Manolo Blahniks coming, but Natasha, being the class act she is, says she doesn't even want the money. She's just gonna donate it to charity. Natasha was always that girl. She kind of won at the end of the day. She dodged a bullet with Mr. Big. She got to see the mistress suffer all those years later. You love to see it. Also, let's not forget that before Natasha, Big was married before, and he also cheated on that wife as well. So did he not leave anything to the first wife? I'm honestly surprised there was never a Big cheats on Carrie plotline, but Carrie does cheat on Big by kissing Aiden in the Sex and the City sequel, so birds of a feather. Did you think I wasn't going to bring up Carrie's crazy ass? Throughout the series, Carrie gets these little moments of clarity where you think she's finally gonna wake up about Mr. Big.
He's a bad guy. Always was. No, it's something about him. I mean, you should see me around him. I'm not like me. I'm like together, Carrie.
I don't get it.
And you never did.
And somehow she always finds herself back with him again, even though he constantly finds new ways of disrespecting her.
Great, listen, I just wanted to call and thank you for the flowers. That was very thoughtful of you.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, my secretary had it on her calendar, so
Carrie is like that one friend everyone has that makes terrible life decisions, but absolutely refuses to listen to reason. Even her friends try to save her from herself multiple times during the series.
Wake up, Carrie. How many more times are you gonna go through this? He is bad for you. Jesus, every time you get near him, you turn into this pathetic, needy, insecure victim. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that you're more than willing to go right back for more.
But she never listens to them, and she just continues to embarrass herself constantly. And don't get me wrong, I like that Carrie is a messy, flawed character. Perfect characters who do nothing wrong don't make good television. To be flawed is to be interesting. But Carrie's romantic journey just feels so damn depressing. And honestly, Carrie has to take some of the blame. Mr. Big may have sent a lot of mixed signals, but he was pretty clear when it counted. When they first started dating, he didn't want her to meet his mom or his friends. And he also said he didn't really want marriage. But Carrie kept hoping he'd turn into someone he wasn't. She goes to extreme lengths to break the boundaries he sets, instead of respecting them and realizing that maybe this guy isn't very into her. Because I was doing research for this video, I was watching a lot of Sex and the City edits on TikTok, and I saw a comment that really struck me. I didn't screenshot it, so if that was you and you somehow watched this video, please let me know down below. Someone said, "It's really sad that we don't get to know Carrie before she meets Mr. Big. Carrie seems like such a cool, interesting woman. We never really get to see a whole lot of her world before Big becomes the center of it." And yes, there is a prequel, but I don't mean her teen years. I really wish we got to see the years before this moment, before it all went downhill. Okay. So, the big question, who should Carrie have ended up with if not Mr. Big? This might be controversial, but I think the show should have ended with Carrie ending up alone. The creator of the show, Darren Star, said himself, "I think the show ultimately betrayed what it was about, which was that women don't ultimately find happiness from marriage. The show initially was going off script from romantic comedies that had come before it. At the end, it became a conventional romantic comedy." The show was meant to be a more realistic reflection of the shittiness of the dating world, but at the same time still wanted that fairy tale romantic happy ending. You can't have Big be a dick, barely redeem him, and then have him be Prince Charming. It just doesn't work. I think Big and Carrie's relationship should have ended with this scene, or at least a scene like this one. Carrie has just sold her New York apartment to move to Paris with the Russian. Ironically, Carrie doesn't tell Big about this, and he's hurt to find out that she was just about to leave without saying goodbye.
Are you moving to Paris? When were you going to tell me?
Like, bitch, you better be joking. Do you not remember season 2? Big once again tries to reel Carrie back in, and in one of the most satisfying scenes ever, Carrie just absolutely lays into him.
Carrie.
You do this every time. Every time! What, do you have some kind of radar?
No, look, I came here to tell you something. I made a mistake. You and I...
You and I, nothing!
Carrie, listen, it is different.
Oh, it's never different. It's 6 years of never being different. And you can drive down the street all you want, because I don't live here anymore.
Get his ass, Carrie. In my opinion, it would have been so much more satisfying for Carrie to realize that she's been chasing a fantasy with Mr. Big and ended things right there. Earlier in the show, when Aiden meets Carrie, he tries to get her to stop smoking. Carrie liked Aiden, so she tried to quit for him. When she cheats with Big for the first time, Big and Carrie are shown in bed smoking, to signify that she has relapsed and fallen back into addiction, both with cigarettes and with Big. Big is narratively framed as an addiction that Carrie can't beat. And ultimately, the show ended with Carrie succumbing to her addiction. I think it would have been so cool for Carrie to get sober, so to speak, and fall in love with herself. At the end of the series, Carrie says, "The most exciting, challenging, and significant relationship of all is the one you have with yourself," which would have been a really great last line if she ended the show on her own. Instead, it is followed by this line, "And if you can find someone to love the you that you love, well, that's just fabulous."
You have to look within yourself to save yourself from your other self. Only then will your true self reveal itself.
Which is rich, seeing as the very next movie is about her getting left at the altar. So what does this mean for us, the viewer? Even though the show is 20 years old, I do believe that media affects us as a society. Ultimately, we're told that if your partner is toxic or bad for you, it's okay because maybe he's just your Mr. Big. And I think that's really harmful. It's a shame that the show betrayed its initial message. I think it could have at once shown the messy, gritty, and realistic side of dating that you normally don't see in a rom-com, and still had a satisfying ending that doesn't have the main character settling for less. But the moral of the story is, if you are in a situationship like Carrie, just know that one day his Peloton will murder him, and I think that's beautiful. You guys, we hit 10,000 subscribers. I don't even believe that. It doesn't look like a real number. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please please leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. My socials are down below. I only have 90 followers on Instagram, so please consider subscribing. I'm very lonely. I will see you next time. Bye.